Hi, good people. Let me read the disclaimer. All information provided on this channel is for educational purposes only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I encourage you to always consider your intuition and discernment. Some knowledge is my intuition. I will use words not intending to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Respect that we all have different paths. I appreciate my subscribers and welcome newcomers. I know people would not support what they don't want to hear, which is acceptable to me. Your engagement is crucial and your thoughts shape the discussion here. Your active participation enriches our discussion. Take what resonates with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. I thought I'd come in and just take a moment to share with you guys. I cut my hair off, cut it all off this time. It was so thin. I had to try something different again. I always let my hair grow out, see how far it'll grow out, and then when I'm ready for a short haircut, I go and cut it off, and uh, and that's what I've done. Let me just say this: I have been really in tune with watching other people's channel, and some was interesting and some was just outright funny to me. I want to talk about those shows that come on, uh I guess variety shows that come on. It people, come on now. You have to, there is a show that comes on. It's in a state close to me, and I was watching the plot, and it's so clear that it was made up. It was made up to entertain the people. And I just shook my head when I was watching it. And then some incident happened on the show between the couple, and the divorced male, uh, him and his side piece did a show, and they brought some female on, and you can literally see that that wasn't real. That was made up as well. And I realized as I was watching these things, it makes me realize that people really like garbage, because it really is garbage. It's negative. It keeps your energy low, uh, and it appears to me that they give you exactly what you want to see or you want to hear about, and it's garbage. And I just, because when you watch garbage, it causes you not to take ownership of your behavior. So it's easy to watch the garbage and see how they act out. So when you act out, you can justify it. It is just amazing. It is literally amazing to me. Um, and these are so-called educated people, and I'm talking people with degrees. A few of them I know have degrees, and they're acting up on TV, just really cutting up. Um, I want to say this for those of you that are watching, and I know occasionally I get on here and talk about the relationship part, If you just keep in mind, you're doing all those things in front of those children. And children are like monkey see, monkey do. And just like when the baby comes out, the baby emulates you. Whatever you're doing, the baby emulates you. I saw one baby, the baby turned its head on when the mother was talking to the baby, and that baby wasn't even 6 months. So these kids are emulating whatever you put before them, and it's really, to me, it's just kind of sad. It's very sad. That's why I kind of like focus on myself. I tend to stay to myself. Um, when I walk through and among the crowds of people, I take positive energy, and that's what I do. Um, it was just funny. My next door neighbor, well, underneath me, she was blasting her music. She was just blasting her music. And she actually had the nerve to have karaoke in her apartment. Karaoke. Do you guys know how loud karaoke is? This chick started her karaoke at 6 p.m. in the evening, and by 9 o'clock, she was still blasting karaoke. And so at 9:30, I went down there and I asked her, I told her, I said, your music is tuning out my TV. I can't hear my TV. And she said to me, it is, hi, Scottish, how you doing? Oh, okay, well, welcome, welcome. But she said, the girl said to me, it's the weekend and I'm having a party. And I looked at her like, okay, I see you. It's the weekend and you're having a party. I see you about to take me out my damn element. So I didn't want to get out my element. I don't like getting out my element at all. But I told her, I said, at 10:05, if you don't have that, because she said we have a 10 o'clock curfew. And I kind of smiled at that because she reminded me of being in school. But so I told her, I said, well, 10:05, if you don't turn it off or turn it down, I'm going to call the police. I'm talking about when she opened up the door, it was full of just full of weed smoking. Now I don't have a problem with people enjoying themselves. That wasn't my problem. My problem was when it started, have been blasting that thing for 2 hours, karaoke, and I'm talking about they were loud. And so you have to consider other people. So Scotty Satin says, hello, I'm actually at my brother's house with our mom named Deborah. Oh, okay. Oh my God, we do karaoke, but not rude and disturbing people. We do it in the garage. No, no, no. See what I'm saying? She needed to realize you have to have a house, be in a house to do karaoke. Karaoke is fun. When I used to go clubbing, I used to go to karaoke's, and it was really fun to watch people get up there and sing. Some knew how to sing and some didn't know how to sing. But it was fun. And I understand the fun part. But when you live in apartments, you have to consider other people. You just have to. Oh, happy holidays to you. I don't celebrate Christmas, but if you do, happy holidays to you, you know. And so I said, you know what, maybe I should have been a little bit more lenient. So I had to run up to the store because I was cooking. I had to run up to the store and get some eggs. And so I asked the young lady, that one of the young ladies that was up there, I said, tell me something. When you're doing karaoke, you're having a party and you're doing karaoke, and you live in an apartment, how much time would you continue doing that? She said 1 hour. the max. And see, I was willing 2 hours is good, but not when it's getting real close to somebody at 9:30. Sometimes some older people lay down trying to get some rest, and when she was doing it in the daytime, I don't have a problem with her blasting her music in the daytime because I'm generally on the computer. But if I'm trying to watch something on TV, she would literally drown what I'm trying to see out. And that really disturbed me because in her mind, her attitude is it's the weekend, baby. And so whatever I do in the weekend is cool. I'm like, girl, it ain't cool. Not when you live in an apartment. So if it's at night and a long time with loud music in an apartment, yeah, 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 you just can't do that. I be trying my best to accommodate y'all young people. I do. I try my best because I know a lot of young people been through stuff with their parents, and I damn sure don't want to add on to what the young people have been through. So I try to accommodate, just like I try to accommodate homosexuals and lesbians because I know they probably been through some shit too. But I am not, I'm not trying to get into the private part of what they do, but just to be kind to them and be because I'm not that. I don't try. I try not to be like that Christian person because the Christians they go with all that other stuff that they really don't understand, and I just try to deal with. I try to be kind to the throwaway. I call it the throwaways because they have thrown away homosexuality. They have to really, when they go into the churches, they have to act like they're not gay just to sit down to listen to the pastor. I've watched them. Um, Same thing with lesbians. It's really funny that lesbians and homosexuals like what they call gospel music. That's really funny. Just about every lesbian or homosexual person that I've dealt with, they actually like gospel music, you know. And I really my heart goes out to them, and that's why I have compassion for them. I have compassion for all young people, even if they be mean occasionally. I still have compassion for young people because I know a lot of that came from their childhood. Um, I was listening to a lady, she was talking about being a side piece. And she thought it was okay for her to have a penis in her mouth and have somebody's penis in her vagina. She thought that was okay, and she was laughing about it. And I'm like, you have, and they were brothers, supposed to have been brothers. And I'm like, so this is where we at now. So Scotty says, yes, gay people are actually very spiritual, but the way the world treats them can condition them into trauma. I believe that. That is why I have so much compassion for them. A lot of times, well, the people on the internet, they take it, they mistaken me for being a lesbian, maybe because I look more masculine than feminine, but no, it's not that I'm a lesbian. It's just that I have compassion for people. Period. I have compassion for the throwaways, with the church throwaway. And if you go and look at the story, even though I know it was no man named Jesus, but if you go and look at the story about Jesus, that's where Jesus went. Jesus went went to people that the church, the Pharisees and the Sadducees did not um, care about. The Sadducees and the Pharisees are those leaders in today's church environment. That's who the Sadducees and the Pharisees represent. And I guess some people don't realize that's who they represent, but yes, they represent them. They are the ones that determine what people should deal with and what people should not deal with. And it's unfortunate because there's some goodness in everybody. I don't care what you say. See, the problem I just don't like, I don't like people that molest. I don't care for people that rape, and I don't care for people that are abusive. Those are the only three things that I don't care for. But if you're not doing those things, I'm good. Because children rely on adults for everything. But when it comes to a time when children cannot depend on adults to protect them, then this world has come to a very serious stage. Um, People are talking about the president. And see, here's the thing: if you believe in a creator, if you believe in a creator, if you believe in something higher than yourself, if you trust something higher than yourself, and you believe in something higher than yourself, then what Trump has said or what Trump said he's going to do wouldn't affect you. It just would not affect you. And I don't understand why so many people are running scared. Him being the president is not a problem for me, you know, because I trust my creator. Whatever gonna take place, whether I live or whether I die, it still is. I'm still in the hands of the creator, and that's my attitude. So I just go on with every day like it's the last day, as far as having fun or whatever I choose to do that day. It's just kind of sad. Now it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of videos talking about drones. They're talking about them damn drones now. Now, drones been right over here in my apartment complex riding around for about 2 years now. Okay, yeah, I do not consent to any fear mindset. So Trump or whoever don't phase me. I'm a creator and I know my creation. Okay, that's good. So what I'm saying about these drones, I have seen these drones over here riding around. Just what they do, they go up in the clouds and they hide in the daytime. I could hear them. They go up and they hide in the daytime. So when it gets night, then they come down. Because I'm a sky watcher. I watch the movement of the skies. Whatever going on, I'm gonna see it in this area. And so they come down. And so when they come down, it's really funny. They will look like a saucer. They would look like a go car. You know how them kids had go cars some time ago. And then they'll turn around and shift into maybe a person. And so they can shift that thing. And I watch it. And so I try to take pictures of it, but for some reason my phone doesn't take a clear picture of it, uh, to where you can't tell what it is. Because I wanted my camera to take a picture so it'll show exactly how I see it, but it doesn't. It looked like a little dot or something. Also, the moon itself, I know it to be a satellite. And what was so funny about the moon the other night is that the moon had something underneath it was yellow. It looked like a piece of cheese. And I had to look at it again. I'm like, okay, what is that? So I know that the moon is a satellite because it does come down. It does go into different forms. Um, and it's fun because looking at it now, I was one of the ones that used to count the slivers in the moon, uh, trying to do what the so-called Jews was doing. They used the word moon supposed to be month, so you have to get the month in the moon by counting the slivers, and so I used to do that years ago. And the so-called Jews, they still do that. And I don't use that number system no more. The number system that I use now is the 3, 6, 9, 12 and 13. Those are the numbers that I use now. And I now know that Earth is operated and ran on 3, 6, 9. Now it's funny that the 3, 6, 9 is uh, spoken in that way. On my game, secondlife.com, they have a position, a sexual position, and they call it 6, 9, the sexual position. Now that's really a trip to me because I noticed that everything that was pure, everything that was good, there was a group of people took that and perverted it, and they made it, like what they're saying about Saturn. When I look at the sun and when I study history, his line story, I found that uh, the sun itself was given or called by many different names. And I also know, unless in that male figure that I saw in the moon is a female as well, I saw a male figure, a face of a male in the moon. And unless that male face changes to a female face, I still consider the moon masculine. And that's, even though the world says feminine, I haven't seen that yet. And I have to see it for myself. I don't just take something that's written in a bunch of books and to say that, okay, it's the truth, because you can't do that. People that write books, they give you their stories, their opinions of what they think about certain things. They write it in the book, and they give you what type of emotions that they're going through. They put it in a book, and then they make you think that the creator is the one that's giving them this information. Some of it is why, because the creator is in just about everything down here. Just about. There are some ones that were created not by the same creator, okay, that is here. Those are the ones that are running this planet down here. They don't, obviously, if they had the same DNA, that they wouldn't be doing the things that they're doing in this earth. Everything that they put their hands on, they destroyed. Everything. I could just go down the list of things that they have destroyed. They don't allow you to have peace down here. So why would anybody want them to stay? Why would anybody? I don't care for chaos. But will I go into chaos to do something? I'm gonna protect me. And I damn sure gonna protect my family. So whatever means necessary, I have to get into to get that done. And I ain't talking about using no equipment. Because see, people have yet to learn it is thought that is the manifester down here, not speech. If it's spoken out your mouth, then it has already manifested in your thought. Thought is the manifester. And I've been saying that for a very long time. The more you go and tell people certain things, the more they continue dibbing and dabble in that thing that you tell them about. They don't care. They don't care that their preacher is telling them lies. They don't care that the so-called black men in the community is lying to them. They don't care about that. Even when something happened to them, they make up excuses. Oh, that shouldn't happen. She must be lying on him. Three of them so far are part of the conscious community. Two of them dead. Two of them dead, and the other one is in jail. How many more times do you need to see that these people are just talking that shit just to get money from you, because that's what they've been doing. I've never been one to be fooled by anybody. I would go in and out of churches with my mother because that's who she was. She was a pastor herself. And so I would go and hang out with her. And I'll be honest with you, I used to, when I go to the churches, I was smoking cigarettes then. I go outside and smoke me a cigarette or two while she's sitting down listening to the whatever, talk that shit that, you know what I'm saying? God told them this and God don't told them shit. There's a guy on YouTube right today, and he called himself right along with the so-called Hebrews boys. He's in that type of arena. And this guy sit up there and told you that people supposed to give tithing because you're responsible to give tithing to him because he's considered to be one of the preachers back in those days, because it is written in the Bible that the preachers didn't have an inheritance. It's written in there. So that means Israel was responsible for taking care them because they didn't have the inheritance. Their inheritance was the creator. But as you can see, that ain't the case. There's no errands nowhere. Their inheritance was the creator. Okay. But it's not the people's responsibility to put them in a $3 and $4 and $5 million home and put them in a Mercedes and put them in a private jet while you suffering, while your sister and brothers are outside. Because the Bible did tell you to take care of the poor, the needy, the widow, the stranger in the land. I don't see nobody doing that. Whenever I go out and I see homeless guys coming, I give them what I have. And I don't understand how can anybody walk past a homeless person like he ain't shit or like she ain't shit. But as soon as the pastor tell you to give this and give that, you run your ass and you do it. I don't know. I'm just confused about that. I don't understand that way of thinking. It just makes no sense to my brain. This guy, he came out and said tithing had nothing to do with giving money. He finally did that. But he made millions of dollars off these people. I'm waiting on him to open up his mouth and to tell people that God didn't say this and God didn't say that, and that the Bible was written by the fraternities or written by the Masons. I'm waiting on him to say that, because only one guy said that and he died. All of a sudden he goes in the hospital, he's dead. One guy. And then there was another guy, him and his wife was on, I guess they went to Africa, and he was on a plane, and then all of a sudden they died on that plane. But he was coming close to telling the allegory of the Bible. His name was Miles Monroe. And the other guy, you'll figure out who I'm talking about because he has a private jet. And he asked his congregation to buy himself another private jet. I have met so many people. I used to go there myself. I have met so many people that have been in this person's church and that have been real close to him and his wife, and have told some horror stories about what this man does. And it's sad. I would feel really, really, being a pastor with millions of dollars, I would at least build up the community, just like what Tyler Perry does. Tyler Perry helps people that are less fortunate in the community where his places that he do movies at. He does that. Does that make him greater than anybody else? No, it doesn't make him greater than anybody else. It just makes him do what a whole lot of people should be doing, especially the churches. There was a time when the churches used to be the backbone of the neighborhood back in my grandmama days. Now, that's been a long time ago. They used to rely on churches for everything. If the people got thrown out of their place, they would go get them and set them up for a new place. If people needed food, they would go and provide the food for them. If the old people that was a part of the church don't got too old to where they can't come to church, they would go and visit these people. Now they putting people older, their parents and stuff, they putting them in nursing homes. They don't have time for their parents no more, but you got time for their money, the little check that they're getting. I see that. You take, and then there are some people that are taking checks from their uncles, their cousins, and those people are homeless. They're getting checks for these people though, but those people are homeless and not getting that money. The money is going to them, the ones that have places to live. I never seen, you know what, I used to get mad about certain group of people pretending to be something that their action don't live up to. Now I'm seeing those that call themselves black. Y'all doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. And you get mad with me because I tell it like it is, and I'm gonna keep on telling it like it is. I'm comfortable not having a friend. Very comfortable. Don't get it twisted. I'm comfortable with saying what I have to say and going about my business. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable, and with one person visually that I could see right here talk, listening to me. I'm comfortable with that. Why? Because I don't come on looking for a host of people. It would be cool if a few of them was here, but honestly, I don't see that. People support what they want, and what people want is a bunch of bullshit. That's what people want. Hey, BLH, how you doing? Now I was looking at the vernal equinox, which is in March, the 21st. And then I was looking at the winter solstice. The winter solstice started on the 21st. Now it is amazing. All those names, all those names that they have for the saviors in the different cultures, where those names is what they call the sun, the sun. And what's so funny, there was a story told that the sun goes, dies on the 21st of December. And then when it dies, then the sun uh, resurrect back in on the 25th. Now, it is extremely bright outside today, extremely bright, but the sun never went down. I have been, since I read about that, which I think it was about 5 years ago, I've not seen, and I live in Georgia. I have not seen the sun go down for 3 days and come back up on the 25th. Never seen it. Not at all. So somebody lying. They're not telling the truth about stuff. And you have to prove that stuff Whatever people say, me, anybody, you have to prove to yourself whether it's true or not. Because you matter. You matter. People matter. When I deal with people, I don't see nobody as no leader. You're just as equal to me. I don't see leaders. I'm a person, you're a person. Let's talk. That's how it is for me, including the president. I'm not going to sit up there and make you greater than me. I'm just not going to do that. I never had to do that. So why am I going to start doing that now? I wanted to talk a little bit about on the vernal equinox and on the winter solstice, they do rituals. They do rituals uh, that keep people in slavery. They do it right. Believe it or not, the most important uh, months is important to them is the vernal equinox, which starts the new year. That's in March the 21st. Some people think the new year begins in April. The months are like this, and they are correct because the number 3 and the number 6 and the number 9 is the numbers that is used in this earth. So every month from March 21st to April 21st begins the new month. And then it just keep going on. 2 plus 1 is 3. So if it's off, if it's like uh, March the 21st to April the 23rd or 4th, that's not correct. It is a perfect 3. Just like it's 360 days in a year. It's not 365. They put the 5 in there so they can get more work out of people. That's why the 5 is in there. And then they tell people that the moon gives 28 days in the month of February, which is a lie because I counted those slivers. I was hanging out with the so-called Jews for about 5 years, and they are the moon people. That's who they worship, the moon. I don't. I did at that time, but the month of the vernal equinox is important to them because they do rituals, and they do rituals to keep themselves in the position that they're in, and they use what we know against us to do that. And they do the same thing in the month of winter, and they make people think that December is the last uh, month of the year when it's not. You can go and type in October, it's going to give you the number 9 because that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. I think it's October, November, December, September. Yeah. September is not the 9th month. September is the 6th month. And then you got some countries, some part of the country over in Africa somewhere, their year starts in September. But Americans still follow the way of what was given to them. But in order for you to be in tune with the cosmos, you have to know the truth. And you'll be able to tell the things that you need to be able to tell. If you are going by what the system says you need to go by, you're going to miss it every time. You're going to miss what the truth is every time. And it starts at your birthday. Right at your birthday, it starts. And it's 52. You should be getting downloads every 52 days. And you should be going higher and higher and higher. Now, I'm not saying that you're not, I'm just saying you should. Or you may be already going higher, some people. Because it's going to take you to know what your journey is in order for you to get to where you need to get to. You got to, can't nobody tell you what your journey is. And there's the other thing that's going on the internet. There is a lot. I'm not putting down tarot card readers, all of them, but there are a lot of tarot card readers, and they're giving the people what they want. And they're doing it so they can collect money from them. Same thing that the preachers do. And I'll be honest with you, I actually said something to one of them, and she did not know what she was talking about. And every now and then I'll do some shit like that. Because sometimes things come in my head, and I know because I have to deal with the lower part of myself and the higher part of myself, I have to make sure it's not my lower self. So if something comes in my head about something, then somebody, if I go and sit under a tarot card reader person and she says something, I pretty much know that she don't know what she's talking about, because I already been told. But they'll tell, some of them will tell you anything just to get your money. I don't know, because that's what it was like when my mother had a hole in this church. It's something about when people go and it's in common, the tarot card readers, the holiness church, and those that call themselves prophets or prophetess. Them people don't know shit. Let me tell you, some years ago, uh, I went up, my mother went up and stood in line with this guy. His name was Leroy Johnson. Not Leroy Johnson, Leroy somebody. He was a pale guy. And she went up there to, because he said all those that want hands laid on, come up here and bring $100. So I got in line too. Now he said what he said to my mama. She was in front of me, and when he got to me, he walked away. He walked away. He walked away when it was time for him to do me. He walked away. And he walked away. He didn't even come back. So I went and sat down. And there was a lady that came up to me. And she said to me, she started rubbing my back. And I turned around. Who the fuck is this rubbing my back? And so it was a lady. And she said to me, she said, there's only 4 y'all down here. That's what she said out of her mouth. There's 4 of y'all down here, and y'all are helping the children, and I need your help. That's what she told me. She said, I need your help. And I turned around and I told that lady, I said, you better keep your goddamn hands off me. During that period, I didn't like for people to touch me at all. Didn't like for people to touch me. And that's what she did. And she was a witch. And she was a very dark, dark witch. Hey, Kiran, how you doing? Good to see you. She was a very dark witch. She had slobber coming out the side of her mouth. I know who I am. I know who I've always been. And I had to go and hang out in dark places to learn these dark places. I can recognize these dark things in people because I had to hang out there. You're not going to find too many people talking this way on YouTube because they're scared to tell you because they're scared you're going to run away. They own YouTube to take your money. I'm not on YouTube to take your money. I'm on YouTube to share with you my experiences. And I know I'm not the only one that has been in dark places because a lot of us have to go through dark places to be able to know what is right and what is wrong. A lot of us. But when that person did that, I told her and after the preacher he wouldn't even bother with me. And then another time I went and I was one of those person I didn't believe in that kind of stuff. But I would go with my mother to drive her places. And I went with her to go to this one church. As soon as I would go in the damn church, the lady called me up and she says to me, now this part was semi-true. She said, you go home to the devil every day. And she said, oh, you're going to divorce him. And I knew that because I was going to divorce him. And she said, but what's going to happen? You're going to divorce him. And she said that when you divorce him, uh, another man from your past is going to come to you. And this man loves you. This man loves you, but you're not going to receive him right away. She said, but you will, but not right away. Now, that was spoken to me almost 30 years. My ex-husband and I have been divorced almost 30 years. And no man came up to me that I know that was a part of my past. And I let it go. Because I am one of those persons. I was one of those persons that believe in marriage. I think marriage is important. I really congratulate people that are married and marriage been good for them. I'm not bitter about it. It's just that she didn't. The second part was her because it didn't come true. I sit and watch this one lady. She's a tarot card reader as well, and she tells she does freebies. She does freebies for people, but what she does too, she does freebie for people. People don't give her nothing. And so what happens is she'll get on there occasionally and she'll tell people certain things to where they have to give her money. They'll feel sorry for her and give her money. I just look at that and I'm like, I can't believe this shit. It's just y'all got to be able to discern stuff, people. You got to be able to discern stuff. And I'm talking about they wouldn't give her no $5 or $10 and $20. They were giving her $200, $300, $400 at one time. I remember one time when I was into the church thing, really into the church thing. Uh, the guy that I was talking about that said tithing had nothing to do with money. I took my tax money, and at that time it was $2,000. Well, I had $2,000. I'm sorry, I had $2,000. So I gave this man, it was rent money. So I took and gave this man rent money. That's how dumb I was with giving. And so when I did that, I'm waiting on the money to come back, and it didn't. So I called IRS, and believe it or not, I got a woman on IRS, I guess the Most High said, let me help this child out. So I got a woman that said to me, well, yeah, I told her my story and she sent the money to me immediately so I can pay rent. I didn't try that no more. Not at all, because that was not a good thing for me to do. But I didn't know. I thought you had to, my whole thing was you give and you give from the heart. And I didn't even know about the thing about giving and receiving. I didn't even know about that at all. During that time, I just know that if you give and help people, then things will come back to you. Uh, but I used to give to many preachers big money because I was making big money, you know. And I found out that it doesn't matter where you give your money to. You can give it to a homeless person, it's going to come back. The same way you give to a preacher and you give it to a homeless person, the same results is going to take place. And I know that to be a fact. But see, these people don't understand the time we're living in today. We're living in a very time where you're going to take ownership of what you're doing. And that's all of us. We all going to take ownership of what we're doing. So what you guys been up to? BLH, Karan, how y'all been? How's things been for you guys? My computer is turning different things, so I'm look like I'm gonna have to go. So thanks for coming by. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, people.